Hey guys, I'm going to try something new here. I figure just giving you some raw reflections as opposed to just reading at you, in addition to the reflection, might be useful. So I'm going to start with kind of the top of as Bill sees it. So we've got one, personality change. And one of the sentences here is, but anyone who knows the alcoholic personality by first-hand contact knows that no true alkie ever stops drinking permanently without undergoing a profound personality change. That's a fucking scary sentence for someone in early recovery. I have to change my personality. I think, I talked about in other videos, but we're egomaniacs with inferiority complexes. I crave the want to be liked. I want people to like me and to think that for, my whole life I have acted as a persona to get people to like me as opposed to who I am. Well, shit, that is a personality change. I have to understand who I am to be who I am. And I oftentimes use drugs and alcohol to numb those feelings so that I could continue to be what others wanted me to be. I don't say that I've had a profound personality change. I'm, just about 3 months in now. But the way I view and approach the world is different. One of the biggest things is, there's a battle that happens in my head, either with, the divorce or, some of the old resentments I have from old bosses or from work. And I can be driving in the morning, sun's not even up yet. And that battle starts in my head. And, the change there is, do I need to have that battle? And what I've started doing recently is, well, let's pray, right? And instead of just praying, like, God, help me do this, or help so-and-so with that, or I pray for my daughter, it's more a conversation of, hey, I keep having this battle. It's about work, or it's about my relationship, or it's what's happening in divorce court. And, I'm stewing over it. And things like that I used to just stew over all day long and work myself into a tizzy. And I find myself, I go to prayer, I ask God to, take away my will, right? And allow me to then go on and move on with my day. It doesn't always happen, and I can tell you there's times that I go on with my morning prayer and I get interrupted by that committee in my head over and over and over again. And there are times that I look to prayer and, I have started a new day. And I think that's, again, one of the beauties here is you can start a new day anytime you want. You are not a victim of your situation if you take control. And in order to take control, you have to give away your control to God. What a wild concept. As, an addict and alcoholic, it doesn't sit well not being in control. I felt like I was in control when I was using, and I wasn't. I was out of control. So that personality change is just a different perspective or view on the world at times. I don't know. That's my thought 90 days in, and we'll see what that looks like, when I get back to this part of the book in a year from now. Thanks for listening, guys.